Good morning, Hojo staff, students, and families. We're ready to start our day. So place your right hand over your heart. Our voices are off and bodies are still. Eyes are on the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, October 19, and we're ready to start our day with some new music. Let's see, I hope there's enough battery for me to unplug this and play it for you. So we have some new music to listen to today from Mrs. Neff. Here we go. Oh, commercial. Sorry about that. Okay, friends, that's our new selection for music this week. And that's by a composer named Franz Liszt, Hungarian composer from the 1800s or the 19th century. And he was famous for a lot of reasons, Mrs. Neff has told me, that he composed some of the most difficult piano music ever, the hardest music to play. And do you know that selection that she has on the playlist? When you watch the YouTube video, it's a child playing that music. It's pretty amazing to see a child prodigy, somebody who as a child is able to do some really miraculous things that even adults would struggle to do. And so here's this child playing this music that's some of the hardest music ever written, composed. And so the piece that we're listening to this week is called Hungarian Rhapsody Number 2. Hungarian Rhapsody Number 2 by Franz Liszt. Can you say his name with me? Franz Liszt. He's new. We haven't had a piece by him before in all of our selections, so he's new to us. It's not new, from the 1800s, and very famous composer. Hungarian Rhapsody Number 2. And so you can listen to this selection and see this young man playing the piano in some of the most difficult music that's ever been composed. That term rhapsody has lots of meanings, but in music, it's a type of composition, a type of music that was composed. And remember, we had another rhapsody that we've listened to. Do you remember that one? I don't know if we'll get a commercial again. I hope not. And that was Rhapsody in Blue by George Gershwin. That's right. So we've learned two types of rhapsodies. Okay, let's try another piece from the past. Let's have... We haven't listened to this one in a long time. had to get to that point in the song or the composition so everybody would remember. Do you remember what it's called? The Surprise Symphony by Joseph Haydn. That's right. Excuse me. Swallowed wrong. Okay, for art, we also have new art this week. And Mr. Berg has found a selection for us, and the new artist is Diego Velázquez. Diego Velázquez from Spain, who was famous in the 17th century, which would have been in the 1600s, about the time that the Pilgrims are coming over to the colonies in the what will become the United States, and about the same time as our friend Rembrandt. Remember the Night Watch, and you might find something similar. So he was a painter who became very famous because he could create portraits that looked very lifelike. Sometimes if you see a painting of somebody, depending on the artist's skill, it might not look exactly like the person who was being painted. Maybe you can see a similarity, but Velázquez was very famous for being able to capture what people actually look like. And when he was doing his painting, something that Mr. Berg pointed out was that when you're looking at the portrait that he paints, they have blurred edges. And that shows that he's painting it from real life as opposed to, obviously, from a photograph, which didn't exist back then. But when you take a photograph, it captures everything very crisply. But a painting, because your eye can only focus on one thing at a time, the edges become blurred. And so his paintings are famous for showing that. All right, so in 1640, he had his self-portrait. So he painted a painting of himself. And since we know from what we understand, he became very famous. And the king in Spain, Philip IV at that time, made him like a part of the royal family in a sense, because he was so popular and so skilled. And so when we see his self-portrait, which is the first thing I'm going to show you this week, that you can tell that this is probably exactly what he looked like. So do you want to see what Diego Velázquez looked like in 1640? Are you ready? Ta-da! Diego Velázquez. Can you say that? Diego Velázquez. All right, from Spain, self-portrait, 1640. Okay, for poetry, also from the 5th grade selection of poems this week, we have The Wise Old Owl. Now, many of you probably memorized this when you were in 5th grade, so say it with me if you know. It's by Edward Hershey Richards. A wise old owl sat on an oak. The more he saw, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why aren't we like that wise old bird? What do you think about that? He said that the owl, the more he saw, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Do you think that's true? Do you think you can talk and listen at the same time? So if you're not talking and you're watching and observing, you can hear more and listen better. So the wise old owl, we'll see as we go on. Birthdays this week. Today we have 2 birthdays. Tyrell and Dante having birthdays today. Happy birthday, gentlemen. Let's see. We've been doing the Bill of Rights, which is part of the U.S. Constitution. The first 10 amendments are called the Bill of Rights, written by James Madison, who would later become our 4th president. And we are memorizing the first 3 right now, and we'll probably add the 4th this week. So let's do the first 3 amendments. First Amendment. Say it with me. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. All right, Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Right. Third Amendment. Let's say it. I'll say it and then you repeat. No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner prescribed by law. You got a little bit of my accent there from Maine. Every once in a while it slips out. It's manner. So let's say it again. No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner prescribed by law. Right. Okay, friends. We'll see if we can add the Fourth Amendment. This week, it's Bring Your Family to PE Week, so hopefully you're enjoying some of those activities that Mrs. Toledo Ballet has put on the canvas. We have some new materials. If you are, if your teacher has told you, in most cases there's at least one thing for you to pick up, even if it's just your new literature book. So those things will be available today if you need to come pick them up. If students are in school, we'll just try to make sure that they get them while they're here at school. Other announcements are we haven't had our languages online and art online until this week. So hopefully if you selected French or if you selected Navajo, or if you're in the 4th grade up, you should be able to, or I think it's 4th grade up, participate in art if you would like. Now I know some of you are feeling like we already have so much to do and maybe you can't get to it, but then maybe some of you really want to get to it. So it's not going to be something that causes you to not be able to pass to the next grade level, but it's an activity for you to participate in that's very important and available to you should you want to participate in that. So we have art and 2 languages that are ready to go for 2nd quarter. Spanish, our Spanish instructor is in Puerto Rico right now and will hopefully be back with us soon, and she still wants to come back and teach you but is unavailable at the moment. So we're adding in Latin for 6th grade and 7th grade. Latin is online also. So if you're in 6th and 7th grade, you can find art, Latin, and either Navajo or French if you've signed up for either one of those languages. And everybody else, Navajo and French are available, or and art is available for 4th grade and up. Okay. I think that's all we have for announcements for today. So let's do our student pledge. I will do the good, I will learn the true, and I will love the beautiful. And I hope you have a great Monday.